on the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Music City Bowl Fight for Iowa podcast, presented by 988 Lifeline. 988 Lifeline. There is hope. 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat 988.
Caleb Johnson breaks loose. He's at the 25-20, 15-10, 5 goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Iowa!
Also brought to you by Iowa HHS. Quitting vaping or smoking can be hard, but Quitline Iowa can help you quit for free with your own personal coach. Get started today. Text START to 300500. That's START to 300500. Summit Agricultural Group, committed to Iowa and adding value to Iowa products. Corn, beef, hogs, ethanol. Go Hawks! Now live from Music City and the Operaland Hotel, here's Gary Dolphin and Pat Angerer.
Hi, everybody. Gary Dolphin with my broadcast sidekick, Pat Anger, former Hawkeye great. We're in Nashville getting ready for Monday's big shootout between the Hawkeyes and the Missouri Tigers in the 27th annual Music City Bowl. Both teams are missing two outstanding players who have opted out early for the NFL draft. Of course, Iowa, you know about Caleb Johnson, his 1,500 rushing yards and 23 touchdowns, and why they will miss him sorely. Kamari Moulton and Jazz Patterson, I can tell you, are chomping at the bit to get out there and take the handoffs from, we think, quarterback Brendan Sullivan, if not, certainly Jackson Stratton. Defensively, cornerback Jamari Harris is noticeably absent and will not play. His position is being shared by Deshaun Lee at corner, Cohen Ontringer, John Nestor, just to mention a few. But it's everybody by committee. Pat, great to see you. It's been about a month in between football games here, and I miss football.
It's great seeing you. I miss you. I miss you and Corey. It's been too long. It's been way too long. I don't even know if I can do this stuff anymore. So hopefully we'll have a good show here this weekend.
Nashville will get your attention. That
Yes.
gets you back on page one. Music City. For a lot of reasons, they call this Music City, USA. But it's a great venue for a bowl game. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and it's perfect. I mean, Iowa fans love Nashville. Every time I come down here, which isn't a lot, but every time I come down here, it's always Iowa people, and just a beautiful town, beautiful atmosphere, a lot of amazing things. I always loved playing down here when I was with the Colts, because they'd always have like some famous country singer sing the national anthem, and it was Trace Adkins was the best one when he did it. So, yeah, love Nashville.
What a great stadium, Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans. It's an NFL stadium, so it's got all the amenities you hope for a setting like this. Broadway, with all of its famous honky tonks, is right across the river. Music Row. This is a world-famous city, not just for Tennessee. And what I love is it's an easy drive for both fan bases. Of course, Missouri is right next door. Iowa's, 7-8 hour drive. Many folks have flown in here, or they brought bus trips down. So it should be, atmosphere-wise, crowd noise-wise, it should be phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both teams, they travel very, very well, and it's a beautiful drive. Obviously, once you get out of Illinois, but it's a beautiful drive.
Glad you said that.
Yes.
Well, let's talk personnel. It looks like Brendan Sullivan is back healthy. That's good. I mean, he really played well the half a dozen games or so that he was on the field before he got hurt at UCLA.
Yeah, it'll be good to see him. He was a real spark for us this season, and came in, did really well, and competed really hard. And unfortunately, obviously, he was injured, and it was and he was hurt because he was competing, and he got hurt competing and trying to make a play. And then Jackson Stratton came in, and he did really well, and did a good job leading the team and being that field general, and really looking forward to seeing Sullivan come back and be healthy and see how much he's grown since his first start.
And Brendan, we know he can run, and hopefully Coach Lester, offensive coordinator, and Sullivan can put together a game plan that will take some shots down the field against this stout Missouri defense. They are really good at tackle. They are really good at defending the A-gap. I'm sure you've seen that on tape.
Yeah, for sure. They're tough, and they're most impressive on their third down. Their third down defense is spectacular. Very tough, very physical, very athletic. And it's kind of, when you look at the teams, very, very similar teams. Very, very tough defensively, and it'll be a big challenge. And I'm looking forward to see Kamari Moulton, see our offense respond, see what they do.
Kamari and Jazz, the Iowa running game, it's always literally that line, next man in. That couldn't be more appropriate than with the Iowa running backs. They've lost other great backs who have opted out in the past, but now it's Kamari's turn. I thought Kamari ran exceptionally well at the end of the season. We know what Jazz Patterson can do.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of forget that Kamari was our starter going into the season, and he runs really, really hard. He's a bulldog. He's a fighter, and Jazz gives us that little that shot out of a cannon type big play, and looking forward to seeing those guys and seeing how they've developed. And I think they're going to do a really good job.
Of course, the tight ends will be even more important now with no Caleb Johnson in the backfield in terms of blocking, and that short dump pass hopefully coming a lot from Sullivan to Lachey and to the wealth of tight ends. Addison Estrenga is back healthy again. The young freshman from St. Louis. They've got some options there if the receivers can put together a decent package of plays, led most notably by Jacob Gill, then things are looking up for the Iowa offense. But that Missouri front is stout and headstrong as well, and therefore I think the Iowa offensive line, Pat, semifinalist for the Joe Moore Award, goes to the best offensive line in America this year. Hawks were right there. It went to the cadets of West Point, the U.S. Army. Army had a great year, and all they do is run the football, and they run it. They run it effectively. So good for Army. But this Iowa line has stayed pretty much healthy all season long. That's been the key.
Yeah, and very veteran. I think over the past couple of years. Last year really struggled with injuries and all that stuff, and just a really veteran, smart, talented group. And obviously being healthy is huge. If we can get those guys healthy, we can run the ball, and it just showed this year with the success that Caleb Johnson had and we had run the football.
One guy who got better by the game because he stayed healthy was right guard Bo Stevens, and Bo is 6'3", 326 pounds, and he said health was a key all season long, and he felt that this team got better as the season went on.
Yeah, I think just playing as a unit, like having the 5 guys, 6 guys that can play at all times is really helpful. Whenever you have someone go down, you can have someone back up that's just on par. It makes it a lot easier, but the starting 5 guys, we've been practicing since early summer or camp. And I think just having us 5 together and knowing each other personally and how each other plays, it really helps being able to make on-the-fly decisions and stuff like that. So,
Joe Moore semifinalists as a group. People don't take that lightly. That tells you around the country, a lot of folks were watching Iowa's offensive line throughout the year, and that's gratifying.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thankful to have a record-breaking running back as well to help with that. But I know, happy to be part of that. I feel like we should have gone on a little further in maybe the finalists at least, but that's up to them. We had Harry Heastand. He was on our side telling them, hey, it's Iowa and Army, no one else. And it was kind of funny, actually. Coach Barnett told us, he's like, yeah, we're probably not going to get it this year. But he was like, we're probably one of the best O-lines in the country, and I felt good about that. And that's all you can ask for is just a little recognition,
Well, they don't come any better than Harry Heastand, let me tell you. That said, now off the field, so who's the goofiest, who's the quirkiest among the 5?
Dunker.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. He's got that weird personality where it's like you can't tell if he's being serious. It's like his life's a bit. It's just, I don't know. It's like sometimes we're like, dude, cut it out. Can you just tell us how you really feel? And
Bo Stevens, prefer run blocking or pass blocking?
I prefer run blocking because I like to put my head in someone else's face, but I'm better at pass blocking, I would say. I don't know if anybody else would agree with that, outside of here, but I would definitely say I'm one of the better pass blockers in the country. So,
once you got healthy personally, and you had a disastrous first couple of years trying to stay healthy, and look at you now.
Yeah. It didn't feel like disastrous. It felt like it was just part of it. I feel like almost it's good for you, just so that you can like reevaluate yourself and re-go through like the whole off-season training and try and see how far you can get it. And then it was like one of them was my knees was right before camp, or right at the end of camp, and then the other one was that same year but later in the year. But no, it's still a work in process. I feel like it was good for me. It got me to see the out of the frying pan a little bit and gets you to look at it a different perspective. But I love playing, obviously. I want to keep playing. I don't want to get hurt. So
I guess maybe frustration is a better word, but you've grown a lot through that, and look at you now. All right, tell me about what's the coolest, neatest thing about Blue Springs, Missouri?
Blue Springs? That's kind of hard. Like, I'm from Blue Springs. There's nothing. It's the Midwest, so there's nothing really crazy neat. But I'd say our high school was pretty cool. It was like almost like it wasn't like just a regular high school with like grass fields. It was like a campus. It was pretty large. It was a 6-day school. So that's pretty.
Isn't
neat.
Liddell from Blue Springs?
Yeah, he's.
So I thought that'd be the first thing out of your mouth.
Yeah, he graduated, I think, a year or two ahead of my mom. So they went to high school together. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know about Coach Betts before. Like, I just saw his jersey and his like picture and stuff in one of our like cabinets on the side or cases, and then I found out who he really was, and he was coaching here. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool, homegrown. So, but no, Blue Springs is suburbs. And then there's a little country near Buckner, and then there's Kansas City right there. I'd say the best thing is just go to Kansas City and get some barbecue. So.
No barbecue in Blue Springs?
There is barbecue, but there's nothing like Arthur Bryant's or what else is there? Casey Joe's. That's pretty good. So.
Last thing, you're still learning about Missouri, but it's your home state that you're playing against come Monday.
No, just watching film. They're good players, good size. They're SEC team. They got 9 wins. They're quality opponent. So, but no, I'm glad I went here. I don't think I would have enjoyed Columbia as much as Iowa City, but I guess. What were they calling it? They called it Hate Week, Bo's Hate Week, because I did like Missouri when I grew up, but the whole recruiting process, they bothered me too much. Like, I left my phone unread messages for 3 days. I had like 120 messages from every single staff member on that team. So I was like, I can't do that. That's too much. I chose Iowa because they were like, you want to come here or not?
You coming here or not? They probably said that to you, didn't they?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, we think we like you, Anger, but when Bo threw that line out, he goes, I thought, oh yeah, Brendan Sheriff, Tristan Wirfs just got drafted when they were recruiting him, and then he rattles off Robert Gallery and Bruce Nelson, and Eric Steinbach, and all these great offensive linemen that played for 100 years in the NFL, even back to his Blue Springs, Missouri native John Alt, whose son was the #1 draft pick of the Chargers here this past spring. So there is tradition to speak of with the Iowa program in general, but especially that offensive line position.
100%. I mean, if you have the opportunity to come here and you're an O-lineman, you do it. You do it because they know what they're doing, and literally you just do exactly what the coaches say, and you buy into the program, and you're going to be successful.
More coming up on our Fight for Iowa podcast in a minute. We're presented today by Lifeline 988. We can all help prevent suicide. There is hope with the 988 Lifeline. Therefore, call or text 988 right now if you think it's necessary. That's 988 Lifeline. Hawkeye football and our Fight for Iowa podcast is also coming your way courtesy of the Summit Agricultural Group. Summit Ag Group is committed to Iowa and adding value to Iowa products like corn, beef, hogs, ethanol, and beyond. Go Hawks from Bruce, Nick, and the crew at Summit Agricultural Group. We're coming right back with more. Another interview here from Nashville in the Music City Bowl. I'm Gary Dolphin. He's Pat Anger. We're coming to you from the Opryland Hotel in Nashville, the home of country music. And we're back making more sweet music in just a minute here on our Fight for Iowa podcast.
This is the Music City Bowl Fight for Iowa podcast, presented by 988 Lifeline. There is hope. 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat 988.
Here in Iowa, we know the value of hard work, and so does Summit Agricultural Group. We're committed to our state, adding value to what makes Iowa great: our corn, our beef, our hogs, and our ethanol. It's more than farming. It's building a better future for Iowa families. So whether you're cheering on the Hawks or working in the fields, know that Summit Agricultural Group is here, growing Iowa together. Summit Agricultural Group, rooted in Iowa, growing value.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Hey Hawkeyes, this is Coach Ferentz. We're excited to partner with Iowa Corn for another football season. And Iowa Corn is pumped up for the season with the Hawkeyes. For those of you that drive to the game, support Iowa's corn farmers by selecting unleaded 88 at the pump. It's a fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet. It's worth the hype. Get pumped up for unleaded 88. Let's go Hawks.
Hi, I'm Lucy Olson from the Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball team. Did you know that vaping can harm your lungs and impact your athletic performance, leaving you feeling gassed? On the court, my coach guides me. Off the court, let Quitline Iowa be your coach and help you quit vaping for good.
A message from Iowa HHS.
This is the Music City Bowl Fight for Iowa podcast, presented by 988 Lifeline. There is hope. 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat 988.
Welcome back to our Fight for Iowa podcast. We're at the Opryland Hotel in Nashville, awaiting Monday afternoon's kickoff, Iowa, Missouri, in the 27th Music City Bowl. We're going to hear from defensive back, cash back, whatever you want to label this guy. He's All-American and All-Big Ten for the last 2 years. That is Sebastian Castro. I guess technically he is a safety. But what a career. 31 starts, 52 games played. He missed only the Michigan State game. 56 tackles on the season, 3 for loss, an interception, quarterback hurries, 2 forced fumbles, a pass breakup or 2. He had a career-high 11 tackles and a forced fumble against Nebraska. Pat, no matter how you shake out the numbers, this guy, as Ed Podolak used to say, this guy's a football player.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's a football player, and I tell you what, very happy that he's an Iowa Hawkeye. He's a guy who plays hard.
How happy do you think Phil Parker is that Sebastian decided to come to Iowa out of Richards High School in Oak Lawn?
I got a feeling he probably played like Phil played back in the day. Phil probably used his head more against other opponents' heads, but other than that, I'm sure they're very similar.
Well, Castro, who goes 5'11", a biscuit over 205 pounds, he said his last game as an Iowa Hawkeye is a bittersweet ending.
Like this is gonna be my 6th year here after this season. So I've been here a long time, and I love being here, and I'm grateful for everything. Like this, changed my life coming to this program. But it's time to go. You know, I've been here. I can't be here forever. So. I appreciate all the memories, everything I learned, but that's why I'm playing the bowl game. I feel like I owe it to the program just to play in this game and just do it one more time. It's gonna be a fun one. I've been having fun this past, whatever it's 3-4 weeks. Just try to enjoy everything. So, like I said, I just owe it to I feel like I owe it to the program. I've been here for a long time, and they changed my life. They taught me a lot of things that I learned I could use forever in my career or just life in general. Everyone's got their reasons for opting out of bowl games, so and whatever it is. But I already knew I was gonna play in the bowl game regardless. So it was an easy decision. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm in Nashville. It's a great city. Good weather too, so that's a plus. So it should be a good time.
Missouri was really a ball possession type team. They don't turn it over much. So how do you get those turnovers and get off the field?
We want to get them off the field as quick as you can, as fast as you can. They like to run the ball, I know they're a physical team, and so they've been pretty successful at that, just watching off tape. I mean, we just got to play good ball. I mean, you want to take the ball away when you can as a defense, but as an offense, their job is that they don't want to give up the ball. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough task to do, but whenever those opportunities come, we definitely want to try to just capitalize on that.
Good, insightful stuff from Sebastian Castro. Pat Anger, this Missouri offense is an over-tackle offense. Tell us what that means.
Yeah, big tackle over, big imbalance, which means you're essentially bringing a tackle from one side, putting them over on the other side. So you need to create a new center, a new A and B gap, and everything like that. So you've got to adjust. You've got to know what's going on. Also, you've got to be aware of backside because you're going to have a guard and just a tackle. So you have two guys on the backside. So what you have to really think about is if that guy's an eligible receiver. That gets a little bit tricky as well too, because then they can go out for a pass, and you kind of forget that too. So it's a big adjustment you have to make. But our guys are pretty intelligent, and I'm sure they spend a lot of week practicing.
And they run a lot of pre-snap motion too. You got to watch that. They want your eyes in a different place.
Yeah, lots of motion, lots of unbalanced, all that stuff. The good thing is we've got Jay Higgins, consensus All-American. We've got Nick Jackson, who's played more football games than anybody
we got Sebastian
ever.
Castro.
Sebastian Castro. So I think these guys will make the adjustments, and I don't think it should be an issue.
So what's the key for the linebackers, especially Jay Higgins, who's calling the signals?
Yeah, just be confident. Be confident, and what you want to do is you don't want to get out of a good defense to try to get in a great defense. If we're all wrong, if we're all in the wrong defense, even if as long as we're all doing the right thing, all doing the same thing, then we're right. So make sure everybody's doing the same thing. Don't try to switch stuff at the last second. Be confident and do what you do best, which is play tough, play downhill.
Good stuff. We'll update our Fight for Iowa podcast tomorrow. Look forward to that, PA.
I'm excited, man.
Talk to you then. Our Fight for Iowa podcast coverage is brought to you by Quitline Iowa. Quitting vaping or smoking can be hard, but Quitline Iowa can help you quit for free with your own personal coach. Get started today. All you need to do is text START, S-T-A-R-T, START, to 300-500. That's text START to 300-500. I'm Gary Dolphin for Pat Anger, our engineer-producer Corey Sheets. We're at the Music City Bowl in Nashville. This has been the Fight for Iowa podcast. Go Hawks.
On the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield, live from Nashville, Tennessee. This has been the Music City Bowl Fight for Iowa podcast, presented by 988 Lifeline. 988 Lifeline. There is hope. 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat 988. Also brought to you by Iowa HHS. Quitting vaping or smoking can be hard, but Quitline Iowa can help you quit for free with your own personal coach. Get started today. Text START to 300-500. That's START to 300-500. Summit Agricultural Group, committed to Iowa and adding value to Iowa products. Corn, beef, hogs, ethanol. Go Hawks! The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeyes Sports Network.